today's era is called an era of consumerism, right? The decision that we all have to take when you step out of the house is not what to buy. The decision is what not to buy. So many things are attracting you. Not only why outside the house, inside the house, because today inside the house you know through your internet you are again virtual, and therefore the decision that all of you have to take today is not what to buy. I always say what not to buy. There are so many things attracting you from so many corners. Okay, so it's important that you are aware of this act, not only as law students, as you know, consumers. We all are consumers, and of course as law students there is a bright prospect. I was traveling with Advocate Karandikar, and it is really heartening to note that people like him are only practicing consumer law, right? Times have changed. When we started, I also go to consumer courts, but that is not the only thing that I do, right? But people like him are specializing in and only doing consumer practice at district, state, national commission center. So this law has gained so much of importance that now you can some of you can even specialize in consumer and grow only in this law. So even from a practical point of view, I think this is very important. Now this topic, I'm sure, is very new. This topic is not much talked about, but I feel this topic has greatest potential, which is still untapped. Okay, not only under consumer law, it is even untapped under our civil law. Okay, though we have provisions for it. Okay, why I say untapped? Because as against India, we always mention consumerism, and Prime Minister Modi today is visiting CEOs of in San Francisco, and we always say in US, if manufacturers, traders are scared of anything, okay, it is the class actions. You may have heard, or you may be hearing in media that a class action is settled, okay, by Infosys. A class action is settled by many big companies. Facebook. A class action is settled by a cigarette company for some millions and billions of dollars. Okay, why? Because it's a class action. Manufacturers and traders are scared of class actions in the US. Giant manufacturers. Now, therefore, it's a very effective tool in the hands of consumers, which is very effectively used in a country like US. But unfortunately, of course, this act is new, this provision is new. We are still not using this weapon, which is in the hands of consumers, against, particularly in the area of unfair trade practice, which is again another untapped area under the law. And that's why this effort, this presentation of mine, is an effort to introduce to you this novel method of even how a small consumer who otherwise will not have access to engage Advocate Karandikar's services, because his services would be costly. He is a consumer specialist. Okay, but if 10 of you combine together, 10 of you come together, then yes, Advocate Karandikar can be engaged by us, because then you are chipping in your resources. So you will have access to good lawyers. You can fight with a giant giant organization, right? Because you have combined your resources. Okay. Now, how does that happen is what we will see. Before that, I'm sure all of you are aware of one form of class action, okay, which has become very popular in India. Can somebody tell me? Right. Okay. Public interest litigation is all that we know when we talk of class action in this country. Okay. Now, public interest litigation takes place where in India? At which court does it take place? High Court. Or under what provision? Under the Constitution, right? 32-26. Under a writ jurisdiction, right? Now, see, there is a limit to which you can use a writ jurisdiction. Again, it's only in the High Courts and Supreme Courts. Okay? Unfortunately, in this country, High Courts and Supreme Courts have also ignored that there there are these types of provisions, class actions under consumer protection or representative suits under CPC, okay, whereby many of the writ jurisdiction orders which the high courts and supreme courts are passing, and again they are limited, writ jurisdiction is limited against whom? Against state and instrumentalities of state, right? So that limit is again there. Now, even state and instrumentalities of state are, with Lucknow Development Corporation judgment, are included under consumer protection. Many of that can be brought under in the local level, at the local district forums, okay? And an ideal legal system, is a system where access to justice is there at the local levels. Justice to the doors of the litigants. You can't expect, Pune is demanding a bench of High Court in Pune, right? Kolhapur is also demanding a bench of High Court in Kolhapur, right? So, but that is something different. You have to have easy access to justice at the place where you are. And if that can be done through class action, I think we all need to understand and study this, okay? So